State your name and title.
My name is Susan Lushane. I'm a nurse in the operating room and in the recovery room at the Hartford Surgical Center.
Okay, thank you. What made you choose nursing as a career in the first place? And how old were you when you realized that it's what you wanted to do?
Well, I guess the main thing that really got me into nursing was personal experiences. For example, my dad, he was really sick at one point. He has diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really bad. Like, he couldn't control his blood sugars, and he ended up with renal failure. So he needed a kidney and went on a transplant list, and he was really, really sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was with him when we went to the doctors and everything and trying to, help him cope through everything, and just knowing that being on that list, it wasn't a guarantee. It could take years, and actually, my mom was really trying to help him out and everything, and wanted to be a donor, but you need specific guidelines, and you at least need to be the same blood type,
Yeah.
So she went to the doctor just to see anyway, and she's the same blood type, and she was a close enough match that they were able to transplant one of her kidneys to my dad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So, through all that, there was just a lot of experience, and taking him to the doctors and seeing the nurses and how compassionate they were with their job, and, just, I wanted to be able to do that, to help other people out there that were sick and ended up with problems, and I think that's how I ended up liking surgery, because I like being able to fix certain problems that, people came across, so that was mainly how I got into it. I was probably I was a senior in high school, actually.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
actually interesting that you said, personal experiences, because I had open heart surgery when I was 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of, why I kind of feel the same way, because, I had to go to a lot of, checkups and everything throughout the years, so.
Yeah, you just want to be a part of it,
Yeah.
Helping other people, and because you've personally known something that happened to you in a terrible medical situation, or just being sick and just wanting to recover and help others recover.
Yeah, exactly. My next question is, well, you already said what kind of nurse you are, but what schooling did you need in order to get this position?
Well, I have a bachelor's degree from UConn, and from there, I wasn't sure at first what kind of nursing I wanted to do, and while I was in nursing school, I was in a program at Waterbury Hospital, which was a really great program, actually, and I suggest it to anybody that's in nursing school.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure a lot of hospitals have similar programs, but your first year of nursing school, you could go and you're a student-trained aide, or a STA, and you basically do what a certified nurse's aide does, like vital signs and help people to the bathroom and bedpans and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have some clinical experience under your belt, you become a student nurse intern, and you get to do a little bit more, like give insulin injections, help administrate medications with the nurse, and help do assessments. So that helped me a lot to decide where I wanted to go, because I kind of liked that, and I liked where I was in the hospital with it. But during clinical, you also find out all the different kinds of fields that are out there, because you spend a semester or so in each one.
Mm-hmm.
And I stumbled across the OR, and it was a specialized area that I had to pick. And I was like, well, that's different. And, I was kind of drawn to surgery before with my dad and everything that he had.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked at Waterbury Hospital for a while on a med-surg floor, which is just kind of a basic surgical floor for post-op patients.
Mm-hmm.
So after they have their surgery, you take care of them. And I liked that a lot, and it gave me a lot of background experience, and it's very hard to get into the OR, actually, because it's very specialized.
Yeah.
And I needed additional training for that.
Oh.
So after a couple years, I'm sorry, do you have a question?
What?
Oh, I thought you had a question.
Oh, no, I'm listening.
Okay, so after like a couple years of working on the med-surg floor, I decided that I finally wanted to go into the OR, and I found a program that they had at Bristol Hospital, and it was a year-long orientation, and you had to take an online course through, I forget which college it was, but it was an online college course.
Mhm.
And it's so different because you don't learn all that stuff in nursing school. I mean, you learn the basics and assessments, but there's so many different specialized areas. So you have to like learn all the instrumentation and sterile technique, and so it was like a whole other world. But I loved the program and I liked it, and I worked at Bristol for a long time.
Mhm.
But then I wanted something a little bit smaller with better hours, and so I didn't have to take long call and
Yeah.
some holidays off. So I'm at the surgical center now, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's the kind of training I needed. I mean, you could get an associate's degree. You could be a licensed practitioner nurse and work under a registered nurse. But I got my bachelor's, so I'm a registered nurse. And then I got additional training to work in the operating room that was provided by the hospital.
Oh, that's good. And I also just finished applying to UConn's nursing school, so.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a great program.
Mhm.
And the teachers are great. And they send you to all different places for clinical, which I like. So a lot of places, like, you stay in one area or, like, one hospital.
Yeah.
But I got to, like, see all different parts of the state, and it was really good. I felt like it was very well-rounded. It's definitely challenging, but...
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. My next question was, being that you are so young, how do you think that this position has like evolved into how it is today?
How it's evolved?
Because as like technology gets better, and I'm sure the curriculum for some nursing schools aren't like they used to be.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, even the state test that you have to take has changed. The NCLEX, I mean, it used to be this long, you'd have to write essays and everything, and now it's a computerized, shortened version.
Oh, really?
I noticed a lot lately, too, with charting. Everything's become electronic instead of paper charts.
Mhm.
So there's the whole transition over with that. I think that electronic charting is great, though I feel it kind of takes away from spending more time with the patient.
Yeah.
You have to, it's like very time specific, the way you have to chart certain things and medications. So you're always like dragging this computer around with you, and you really, I don't really like that as much actually. But there's other things that, especially like surgical procedures, that have definitely evolved, and things that you would never thought you'd done before,
Yeah. Next, what do you recommend for a high school student to do if intended to go into your field?
It's always good to volunteer and look around. I mean, I didn't really know what I wanted to do till about my senior year, so I don't feel that it's fully necessary, but at least, if you do get into a program, like that program that I took at Waterbury Hospital while I was in college, I just felt like it made me more well-rounded and exposed. So I guess just being exposed to that field, and a lot of hospitals are very receptive to students, and showing them the different areas. Because even when I did that student trained aid program, I wasn't just in one area of the hospital. They sent me to interventional radiology, the emergency room, the ICU, cardiac care, cardiac cath lab. They send you to all the different areas, and it's great because it's at that age, I didn't know all these fields existed, and so it really opened my eyes and made me think, wow, what part of this do I want to be?
Yeah, there's so many different options.
Yeah, and the best thing is that you can always switch it up and change. You don't have to just stay in one area and then become sick of that area. You could just switch to something else.
Exactly. That's like what my aunt tells me because my aunt's a registered nurse.
Uh-huh.
So she like changes it up. Like you can just take like another class on the side and then be certified in something else. Like there's so many different things you could be certified in.
Yeah, that's true. What kind of nursing does she do?
She's on the cardiac floor of Danbury Hospital.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Also, here, let me read these. What kind of tasks do you complete on a daily basis?
Kind of like a walkthrough of my day.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
You don't have to like go through every little thing, but like what are some like like certain things that like pop up more than others that you think?
Well, where I work, there's kind of three different areas, and I'm kind of unique in the fact that I bounce around to all three. Usually there's an admission nurse, which prepares the patient for surgery, does the IV vital signs, and gets the chart ready.
Mhm.
And there's the operating room nurse or the circulator who stays in the room, makes sure that the patient's positioned correctly and comfortably, and prepares everything, opens the sterile field and sets it. And then there's PACU, or the post-anesthetic care unit, where the patient recovers and they go home. So my days depends on like which area I am, and sometimes I'm in more than one. So I might be getting the patient ready for surgery. I do love education, like educating the patient, like what to expect post-op and what to look for, like what things they should be concerned about. And sometimes I don't get to do that when I'm in the operating room, so I kind of like switching it up because in the OR everybody's asleep, so
Yeah.
it's different. But you get to see so much stuff when you're in there, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It sounds very interesting.
yeah.
What are your hours and shifts like?
Oh, that's different too. I mean, it depends what area you're in, but where I am now, I usually go in 6 o'clock. I have to be in. The earliest I'm ever in is at 5:45, which is a little crazy, but the cases start around 6:30 or 7 in the morning. That's when the rooms start running. And then we kind of just go until the day is over. Sometimes that's around 2:30, or sometimes it's not till 4 o'clock. So it really depends on the day.
Mhm. And you said that you like that you get like holidays off sometimes and things like that.
Yes, we're not open on the weekends, which
that's
I
good.
used to work in the hospital, so I would take call 1 weekend a month. So that'd be a 24-hour call. And then they used to rotate the holidays that you'd be on call for. But now I have all the major holidays off, and I have the weekends off. So it's almost like a normal job. The hours are still a little wacky, but when I was at Waterbury, I used to work the night shift. So it's definitely a lot better and different than that. But I don't know. I like the night shift, though. It was interesting. I used to work 11 to 7.
Mhm.
And you would think everybody'd be sleeping, but no.
Everybody's awake?
There's a lot of assessments, and you have patients that are fresh post-ops, and it's really important to keep an eye on them, and they're bleeding, and you might have to do a couple blood transfusions, and, you get admissions during the night.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I mean, there's all different things out there. I like working during the day, and I like the schedule I have now. I'd rather be up really early so I could get out a little bit earlier.
Mhm. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. It took a little while to find a job that would accommodate such things because it is in high demand to have a job with such regular hours. But if you work your way up, you hope you could find one.
Yeah. My last question is, what is your favorite part about your job?
My favorite part about my job is, I have to say, when the patients come out and from surgery, and they're relieved that it's over, it wasn't as bad as they thought, and they're just so grateful for all the compassion, and we just give really good teamwork and care at where I work, and I don't know, I just like that, and sending them home, and they're all prepared, and they know what to expect, and they're on the road to recovery, so.
That's good. I like that. That's That's probably one of the reasons why I like it. Well, like, not that I've actually done anything, but I like that feeling. But thank you so much. That's all I really needed from you.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
You're welcome. Maybe sometime you could stop by the center and I could show you around a bit.
Yeah, I would definitely like that. I'd probably be better for you to do like after the holidays. I needed the interview done by like a certain time, but like I would definitely like to go back and actually meet you.
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem. I'm always around, so.
Yeah, so I'll probably contact